It is that time of year when Oxford United starts selling season tickets for the next year, and they have gone about launching things in a slightly different way this time around, and I love it. I think it's great. It's quite unique. So they've come up with this thing. Are they calling it the gift of time? And they are describing match days as moments where life slows down, people come together with family and friends. It's a lovely sentiment. And it all features a bit of poetry by the Oxford spoken word artist Rawz. Now, Rawz grew up in Great Elise and has become one of the city's best-known contemporary poets. Here's a little bit of it.
If we stop counting minutes, we find our own rhythm. Stop looking at the finish, we find space within us. For what really matters, what makes who we are. Of course, the clock moves, the next tick, never far, but when we stop counting minutes, we make time.
It's stunning, isn't it? So that's Rawz, and the video with it is full of imagery of fans of the U's being there and sort of taking part, and the tension actually is really quite strong and high. Let's have a chat to Rawz. So you grew up in Great Elise, so presumably having Oxford United literally round the corner must be really important for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I love it. Like on match days, you can actually I can almost keep score from my back garden, like from the sound of the crowd, and yeah, even can hear like the refs whistle sometimes and stuff. So yeah, it's great. Just the atmosphere on match days, people coming into the area, and it's a great thing to have around. Definitely.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bum fight for parking spaces, but apart from that,
yeah, I mean that can be a bit of a pain, but not too bad for me.
Now, look, with the atmosphere like that, so how did this work? Did they approach you? Did you approach the team?
Yeah, they got in touch with me. Basically, they were they had this idea about kind of using some spoken word. I think a lot of their kind of campaigns recently, they try and do things maybe a little bit differently. I think they've definitely got kind of an intention of like working with local artists and supporting the arts locally, kind of being a bit more than just a sports team that people connect with on a Saturday sort of thing. They approached me with this idea. They had this idea of the gift of time, and thought they wanted to use some spoken word. So they basically came to me with that idea and let me run with it.
Well, you really have run with it. I love it. Just the pace is fantastic. The ticking of the clock in the background is great. Is that one thing you look for, is sort of a good rhythm to these things? Yeah,
I think for me, like, I come from a hip hop background, so like I started off writing rap lyrics basically. So I think rhythm is definitely like a foundation of kind of how I structure my spoken word, my poetry. And I think it's the difference between like rap and poetry is that the words themselves have to be the rhythm in spoken word. It's definitely a lot of it is about that. And one of the first ideas I had really was kind of trying to use that tick of the clock to kind of give the pace to the piece.
Yeah.
I'm really happy with how that came through.
There's this idea of time stretching out, and I think that's like feels kind of against the grain in some ways, because everything seems to be about doing stuff fast these days. Do you reckon that actually we crave slowing down?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think beyond like the physical, like the love for the game and what's going on the pitch, I think definitely one of the reasons why we go and watch football is that time of like being in a crowd, being part of a something bigger, and that kind of those shared moments, those moments where like, thousands of people are all taking a breath in together, or, all of that kind of stuff. So I think, there's kind of a bigger reason than just the football to go and watch. And I think, that kind of 90 minutes, those memories, when you look back on them, they last a lot longer than that, and it can feel like a lot longer when, you know, those tense moments, or when you're celebrating together or whatever, you know, those sometimes things that take just a few seconds can seem like they've
Like an
stretched out
age,
into something
yeah.
much bigger.